Let's bring up Adam Philippi. Adam Philippi is a lawyer and founder of Aeon Law, and a self-proclaimed cypherpunk. Right?
So I joined the cypherpunks mailing list in 1993. So I was already jaded on crypto when the Bitcoin white paper came out. I'd seen cryptocurrencies crash and fail a dozen times before, and when it came out, I was like, this is really poorly implemented. It's never going to go anywhere. So I'm the curmudgeon, or one of the multiple curmudgeons in the room. Hi, Lawrence. But I play in the technology and intellectual property space. I run an intellectual property law firm. And so I see a lot of projects, most of which I can't tell you about the current ones, but I can talk about broad trends and not break attorney-client privilege.
Okay. What are some of those broad trends that don't break attorney-client privilege?
Ren, thanks for stealing my thunder. Authentication. So the fundamentals of tokenization and authentication of things continues to be strong and interesting. And we're starting to see some interesting things around how AI is breaking down conventional ideas of ownership and creation. And maybe tokens can be a way of recapturing some of that, where this concept of possession is nine-tenths of the law. So if you can, it gives you the possibility to possess a digital thing, even if copyright law may not be on your side.
Super interesting. Yeah, that's I like that a lot, actually, because it fits to what we're doing. Tell us more.
Well, courts around the world have come to a consensus with one small blip or an asterisk in South Africa, but everyone else has said you have to be human to be a creator that is going to be awarded the copyright in a creation. And the way if you're a human artist that's collaborating with AI, the US Copyright Office says, you need to tell us exactly what the AI created, and we will carve out the copyright protection for what was AI created. And there will be no copyright protection for any of that. It will be public domain. Anyone can access it because it goes back to the fundamentals of our history. Our copyright law is based on our US Constitution, which says in order to protect artists and scientists, we have patents and copyrights. And and they define those as humans because, I wish I could remember the exact Abraham Lincoln quote, but it was about patents. He said, patents are the fuel that drives the self-interest of inventors. And an AI is not self-interested yet, hopefully. We haven't gotten to HAL yet. But you can't motivate an AI to create better art by giving them a copyright.
Yeah, so I just looked at it. So it goes, added the fuel of interest to the fire of genius in the discovery and production of new and useful things.
Yeah. So the AI isn't going to get better by protecting it with these laws. So the courts are saying no protection. But tokenization might come to the rescue as a way of encapsulating and being able to own something, even if people can make an infinite number of copies for free and put it on t-shirts, and you can't do a thing about it, but you can still own that original one.
Right, exactly. That's interesting that you say that, because that's really our perspective is, like, how do you basically make sure that you can track the point of origin, right? And so, like, whoever claims that first is doing that.
I mean, the other things, there's going to be some interesting new, some continued developments. I do think sustainability particularly as we're talking about the younger generations, is going to be very important. I've spoken with my kids, and they're okay with Solana. They are very not okay with Ethereum. And then also some interesting things around zero knowledge proofs. I think we have yet to scratch the surface on the technologies that zero knowledge proofs are going to enable.
Lawrence, did you want to add something? But if so, hold on a sec. Can you actually come over here because I want to pick you up on the mic? Is all.
It's actually a question.
Perfect. So, real quick before, he's already here. So, Lawrence, what is the question?
So, your own image. If you use an AI hypothetically to create a book cover,
Yeah.
and you use your own image, is that copyright protected?
Well, what do you mean by your own image?
Like that was the inspiration to the AI. Like
Yeah.
You fed the AI your image.
Yeah.
So in general, the courts are still going that if you created an image as a prompt to the engine, that large image model, a large language model, has munged it up with so many other things in the process that a court is generally going to say no copyright protection. Is the way I've been seeing the cases come down recently.
Good to know. So hypothetically,
if you just publish a book,
yes, and it happens to look like me.
it happens to look like you. Well, you couldn't have been using DALL-E because they would have said you can't use you can't try and emulate an actual person using their system.
And I don't want to take up all the air, but Midjourney is much more friendly.
Yeah. So it's now you get my lawyer's answer, which is everyone knows the lawyer's answer. It depends.
I thought it would just be interesting because people are probably using stuff they already have, images.
So, and I mean, we can quickly get into a gray area.
Yeah, and
but once you start commingling with the creative works of all humanity, your ownership quickly disappears.
Well, I feel that I've given humanity something to look forward to. Thank you.
Nice. Well, Adam, last question for you is what is in store for 2024 from your point of view, from your perspective?
A lot more brass tacks, infrastructure, improving systems, getting and yeah, I mean it's the one technology that I've been other than things like sustainability, more robust systems, better security. Zero knowledge proofs, I think, are going to be an interesting area to navigate because they allow some anonymity, which can be perceived as dangerous. Anytime you're allowed to do things in the blockchain community and stay anonymous, it gets the interest of governments. But I think there's going to be a return to people wanting to have some privacy and some control over how their information flows. And zero knowledge proofs are going to allow people to interact without necessarily having to share full identity information back and forth.
Yeah. Super interesting. Well, thank you, Adam. Appreciate you joining us.
My pleasure.